Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. Quick couple things before we get started. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Get Heavy Podcast. $1 a month gets you in the door, early access to episodes and bonus content. Rate, subscribe, follow, and review the podcast on all audio outlets. It really does help. Check out the YouTube. Hit that notifications bell, subscribe button. Doesn't mean shit to you, but it means a lot to me. And check out the merch, localshop.com/Get Heavy Podcast. We got new merch dropping soon. I appreciate everyone that supported so far. Also, go ahead and give us a call on the Get Heavy Hotline, 805-666-2314. And you can leave your weird story, message, answer the question of the week, rates, reviews, fucked up shit, send your memes, texts, voicemails, whatever you want. Know that it will maybe used on the podcast if it is good. Having said all that, enjoy the episode. Get Heavy Podcast. Hosted by Craig Gonzalez.
Hello, sir.
Is that you, man?
That is me.
Fuck, dude, what happened to the hair?
Not what I expected.
I thought you were going to die by that shit, dude.
No. Maybe it'll come back. We'll see.
Yeah, man. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Great, man. This is Jay, my the co-host, podcast co-host.
How you doing?
What's happening, buddy?
Not much. Just hanging tight.
Doing
Can
that
you hear
that
us
COVID
okay?
haircut?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
got it a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
He used to have the most wild curly hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was nuts, dude. It was like a lion's mane coming off of there.
It got to be a bit much with kids.
Oh, yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you just got yogurt in my hair, man, and I can't tell where it is, or
Totally, man.
Yeah. Yogurt in the hair. There could be other ways of describing it, I guess, but I'll stick
Exactly.
with thinking about yogurt in your hair.
You go to town.
Yeah, man. That's great. How old are the kids? How many kids you got?
I have two boys, 4 and 7.
Ooh, you're in the mix.
Yeah.
Right now.
I'm in the thick of it. Yeah, just
Yeah,
entered
man.
the chauffeur stage of my fatherhood.
Yeah, where you're shuffling to school from school. Yeah. It's a full-time fucking job, ain't it?
It sure is, man. Yours are older than mine, right?
Yeah, well, I got 13, 11, and 3 are going to be 3.
That's a good spread.
Yeah, it's a fucking whole deal. My
did?
kids have been pissing me off so bad the last couple of days, dude. It's they
Young
really
folk.
they just at a certain age, 10-ish, they start to just kind of become assholes, dude. Like
I could see that.
It's-
being the case.
Yeah. I mean, they have the prime example in front of them. They might
Yeah,
as well
they
just go
do.
for it, you know?
I learned it from you, Dad.
Yeah,
100%,
exactly.
Yeah, my daughter throws down on me and will literally lie straight to my face, and I'm like, I watched you do it. I watched you do that, dude.
You're mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, no, I'll die on this fucking hill. You're like, okay,
yeah.
yes, fuck, dude.
We'll
My
just
4-year-old
call her
asked-
Junior.
My 4-year-old asked me the other day when I was going to get killed. Do you know something I don't know?
Totally. He's like, what's your mom planning? Anything?
Exactly, yeah. Frying pan to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Wow.
When are you gonna get killed?
Yeah. So when are you going to get killed? Yeah.
What'd you respond?
I was like, I don't know. I mean, yeah. Tried to talk him through it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Talk him through it. Oh, well, it could be any day now. I don't
It
know.
could be right now, man. Yeah.
100%, dude.
Mhm.
Well, fuck it. It's really good to see. It's been years, man. I mean, we're going on
Yeah, I was
over
trying to
10
remember.
at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I remember working on your record cover when we were recording in Louisville, and that was maybe 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, it came out like 07.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And
Yeah,
it was done. Like I remember that's the only record I remember because we recorded on 666.
Huh?
You know what I mean? And we were
Smart,
doing gravity bong hits before vocals. You know what I mean?
Very smart. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good times back then. But yeah, man, the Akimbo days were killer, man. I mean, what happened to it? Did it just disband Kind of fucking just
Yeah, we
stopped? Or what?
burnt out and got tired of it. And John and I went on to Sandrider, and I mean, it had been going beforehand, but we just decided to, some of us had lost some interest, and some priorities changed.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, it was nothing, no bad blood or anything. It was amicable.
That's nice.
Yeah. No,
it's nice when that happens,
We're all buddies. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's kind of how the wrath stopped, because I was at the point I was the only one with 2 kids, trying to fucking survive on tour for 5-6 months out of the year. You know what I mean?
I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Coming home with $0, you know what I mean? And you're just like, God, the fuck out of here, man. So I had to break down and tell him, like, I just can't do it, dude. I can't do it anymore.
And that was the end of it?
That was the end of the wrath, essentially. Yeah. It was
Gotcha.
like, I think we broke up about almost 5 years ago now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're all still really good friends. And Nick, the bass player, plays with me now in my new band, Tongue. And John, the drummer, is in 1,000 bands. He's fucking the singer for Stalag 13. He's the drummer for 4 other bands.
That's awesome.
We still do that Dad Brains band together. That's me and
I gotta
John.
say, Dad Brains, it really spoke to me. I love
it. Did it get you? Yeah, man. We're stoked on that shit, man. It's the easiest band I've ever been in my entire life.
Are you going to tour on it? I bet you can make a killing.
No, not at all. Nothing. All we do is record. All we do is record and put out music videos.
And they are very well done.
Yeah, they are hilarious.
I'm shocked at how well they're. I have nothing to do with it. It's the best band ever. I learned the songs. The first batch of songs I learned in the studio while we were recording them. You know what I mean? It was like, it's the best band I've ever been in. There's like I do nothing, you know what I mean, besides play bass, and that's it. And then throw my children in the video when we need it.
Yeah, all the videos the kids are great.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I will be in that band forever. You know what I mean? As long as they'll have me.
I should look for something like that up here. It'd be fun.
Dude, do it.
Yeah.
Some dad rock shit. Get it, dude. Some Dad Zeppelin.
Dad Zeppelin, sure.
Yeah, totally. You can call the first album "When Will You Get Killed."
Yeah.
He said, yeah, totally.
Totally, man. That's great. So are you up in Seattle? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm just north of Seattle, suburb of Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the Seattle life?
It's good. The city's super expensive, and that's why we're a little bit north of the thick of it.
Where are you at?
We're in Shoreline.
Okay.
Just we're at 158th, and the city ends at 145th. So just over the border,
Yeah, Jay's from the Pacific Northwest.
Where are you from?
I've lived in Kent and Federal Way and Shelton and Port Angeles, Squim. My dad had a bit of a drug problem, so we moved a lot, but a lot of Shelton and out in the country, and then a little bit of Federal Way and Kent for a while.
Nice.
But I've been down here since I was 14. So the only thing I know now is going back up there. And I went back up there not too long ago, and I was at my cousin's house and said, "Hey, I'm going to run down to the store." And my cousin's like, "Yeah, well, be careful." I'm like, "I'm from Oxnard, man. I ain't worried about it." Whoa. I got down there. I was like, wow, man, this was like some ghetto gas station. It looked like I was in Lancaster, man, where it was like a meth head and a Crip and a Cholo and a Paisa. And like, I'm just like, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I'm like, this is Washington. This is Federal Way, blew my mind, man.
I can imagine. I'm headed down to Hood Canal this weekend for a family get together. Yeah. Union, Washington. I've never been before.
I lived in Port Angeles, and I lived in Tahuya, which they're right across from each other on Hood's Canal. I mean, you'll love it. It's absolutely beautiful, and the water used to be cold, but last time I was there, it was like bath water when I jumped in it. Man, it was amazing. Really? Yeah.
Well, if you looked upstream, there's probably a homeless guy pissing in it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Actually, Hood's Canal, when you ever get a chance, man, go up there. Yeah. Craig, you'll love it. Take the kids, throw them in the back of the bus, and head on up.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Dude, road trip. Have you done a real legit road trip with your kids yet?
We have not. They're still a little bit too young. We've been talking about it, though.
It's brutal, dude.
Laura's folks live in Chicago. We talked about maybe driving out there.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a drive, dude.
29 hours.
Yeah, totally, man. I know. Isn't it funny? Like touring musicians are the best in the world at knowing how far things are. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, that's a 15-hour drive. You're like, how do you know? You're like, I've done it so many
times. I once drove from Louisville, Kentucky to Seattle by myself.
Damn.
54 hours.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Was
That's
it
a toughie.
Sleep in the car one or?
I did. I slept for a couple hours in South Dakota and then I just hit the
Kept
road.
on driving, huh?
Wow.
It was at the end of a tour and I had been hired by a band and they had flown out from Louisville to go to Europe. So I was driving their 15-passenger van with a double axle trailer on the back.
Oh,
and
nice.
just wanted to get the gear home and sleep in my own bed.
Yeah.
So
And then you're like, you did 3.5 days, 4 days.
You did 54 hours straight with just a couple of hours in the van.
Yeah. And I smoked a cigarette every half hour and I only listened to Led Zeppelin.
There you go, man. Yeah, I went on a tour. I went on a tour with a band called Jackass, who's actually they're on BYO, and they're my uncles. Like they're actually my uncles, right? So I went and just roadied for them. It was a 6-week tour, right?
You went and played with Jackass?
I just roadied for them. I didn't play with them. It was like I just roadied, right? So it was awesome. The tour started on the West Coast, all the way up through Canada. And then the drama started happening in Canada. We got like ripped out of a hotel room in Edmonton by the cops. And then some shit went down between the bass player and the drummer. The drummer ended up fucking bailing out of the tour in Minneapolis.
Who was the drummer?
Victor Fuentes.
Okay.
He bails out, and leaves like a Dear John letter, right?
Wow.
So from that point on, we still had like 3.5 weeks of this tour left. And so they fly in another drummer. We make it all the way to Baltimore, right? Just hanging on by a thread. And it's going full VH1 like classic at this point. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just spectating. So it's like not my shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm like, this is awesome and terrifying, you know? And so ended up that the tour fucking ended in Baltimore. We were supposed to loop all the way back around. And me and the bass player drove. It was 52 hours straight from Baltimore straight to home.
Wow.
You know, and we didn't stop. Like we did not stop. Like, you know, we had the other, you know,
sure,
there was things helping us stay up. I'll tell you that much. You know,
gotcha.
Yeah. And it was a powerhouse through that fucking country, dude. I've never got across the country so fast in my entire life.
You drove the cliff notes. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And
it was crazy.
Baltimore and Edmonton are both kind of gnarly towns.
They are, man. They are. I've been, Edmonton was, and Canada was nuts because we got warned about the cops before we even got there. And like, they're like, hey, don't fuck with the cops. They will fuck you up. You know, and you're like, that's a weird thing to say. And boy, did they fucking like something happened at the hotel with that same drummer. And the guy at the hotel called the cops on us and they fucking blew in at like 3 a.m. It literally beat some of us up and fucking ripped us straight out of the hotel into our van. It's like 19 to 16 degrees with a, 30 fucking mile an hour winds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was driving in a sleeping bag, like in full fucking
Jesus
thing, like
criminy.
just dying. You know what I mean? In Canada, it
like
was fucked.
How'd your feet work with your?
It didn't matter. I was in full entire, all the warm shit I could have with the heater on, and I was still fucking freezing in a sleeping bag, dude. Like while we were driving.
That sounds brutal. Yeah.
It was rough, dude. And it was like a tour. It wasn't even my tour. I was just like supposed to be selling merch. You know what I mean?
And here you are. Yeah.
And here you are, Yeah. The tour and shit is fucking no joke, man. I mean,
it's no joke. Jared Warren talking about being a parent. He was like, it's the gnarliest tour you've never been on. And now after a while, I was like, I totally get that.
That totally makes sense. But that's Jared from Big Business, Jared?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dad too, huh?
He is. He's got 2.
Good for
kids.
him.
Yeah.
Where's he at? In LA or is he up there again?
He was in LA and he recently moved back up here. Actually, he's in near Olympia. So.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
That's where he's from.
Yeah, it's fucking, that's actually a perfect analogy, I think, for kids. It's a tour you've never been on and it never ends.
No, and it gets worse and worse. But it's also awesome at the same time.
I mean, we shouldn't have to clarify that we love our children, you know what I mean? But we do. Yeah. Obviously, we show up for them and do the thing, but you're allowed to like not like them sometimes, you know what I mean?
Sure, of course.
Fucking, you're like, God damn, man. It's
just
nuts, dude.
being the dad that all the kids are grown up and gone. You guys are really going to miss all this.
I know.
You know, I mean, seriously, man, I miss my kids. You know, I'm trying to get my kid. I'm going to Colorado in January, and I'm trying to get my kid to go with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. I'm paying for flights. I'm paying for rooms. I'll pay for the food. I'll do whatever it takes to get you to come up there and just hang out. I don't even give a shit if you guys hang out with me all the time. Just give me 2 days out of like 5.
That's funny.
You just give me 2 days out of 5 and I'll give you guys cash. I'll stoke you guys out, whatever you want to do. And these assholes are all responsible and shit. No, Dad, you know,
Man,
we got all this. Hey, let's go. Shit.
Me and Nat
yeah. Hell yeah.
Way funner, dude,
yeah. Man, it's a bummer.
The dichotomy is that literally 40 minutes ago, I had to take a drive and breathe before I fucking killed myself because I was arguing. You know, you're like,
I hear you.
You're like, I was like, I got to get out of the house for a minute. Like, you know what I mean?
Dad just needs a minute. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like in my car crying, you know, by myself.
That's what happens when you own a pellet grill.
Yeah. I'm on. Son of a bitch. Anyway. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's nuts. But I mean, have you done much touring in the past? I mean, since Akimbo, or does Sandrider tour that much or no?
No, Sandrider has never. We did a couple of like short jaunts out to Missoula to play Total Fest. And we've been to Portland, Oregon.
Oh, really?
That's as far south and as far east. And we played Vancouver, British Columbia once.
Oh, really? So it's like largely a recording thing. You guys don't play much at all.
We just haven't been able to, with kids and everything. We haven't been able to hit the road, you know. But we're getting to the point now where I could see it happening, like maybe a week or a 10-day tour, or a fly-in or whatever. So
right, yeah,
we've done fly-ins
cool.
actually. We've flown into Edmonton and Calgary.
Oh, okay. Are you fucking dying?
Yeah. Do you need?
He's got COVID. This motherfucker came over to my house he's got the Omicron variant already, dude.
He's number 1 patient 0 in the US.
Yeah. He got it straight from South Africa, dude. What the fuck?
He gets around. Was it like mail order?
So, yeah, you got it through Amazon, dude.
Holy shit. Man, it's allergies Christ. And stuff down here is just killing me.
Yeah. It's insane. I know it's been probably raining nonstop up there, right?
It's been okay actually. Actually that's not true. We've had a lot of rain, but today was great. And it's been warm, and
we haven't seen a drop in months, dude. I mean, it's a straight desert out here. It's really gnarly.
It's horrible.
It's like 90 degrees in the summer. You're like, what the fuck?
You guys had this summer. You guys had 100-degree weather, which is unheard of.
That's true.
Yeah.
You guys are in a drought. The last couple of times I went up there, we drove up there, and the drive up there was literally the whole mountain, the whole way up there through Ashland, Oregon, through all of it. The whole mountain range was on fire.
Yeah.
Like all the way up to Washington, everything was on fire.
It's been hard with the smoke because you close your house up when it's smoky, but it's hotter than hell outside, and you just end up baking in your house. So I actually have bids in to get AC in our house, just so we can have
crazy
somewhere. I know but that's becoming more, prominent up here, more prevalent.
Yeah, I bet, man. Well, and it's like, but also global warming's a myth. So
exactly. I know it's full of bullshit.
Sorry, climate
the
change.
Fucking Earth's flat, and
JFK
Jr. is apparently coming back from the dead. So
I can't wait.
Were you there? You went, right? You went to.
I did, and I'm also I'm magnetic because I got my vaccine. So
that's right. Yeah,
I got my booster, so I must be ultra magnetic.
Yeah.
As soon as they said I could get the booster, I was standing in line to get it. I don't give a shit how people think about it. If they want to get it, get it. If you don't want to, don't get it, man. But I'm not playing around.
Wait, I think everyone should fucking get it.
Yeah. Or if you're healthy, don't. If you don't feel like it, and you're in a healthy and you're in good shape, you're taking care of yourself, and you don't want to get it, that's fine. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are having issues that are healthy that don't need to have those issues. It's the two fat guys sitting here that, are going to end up getting in trouble,
But it's not about us. It's about protecting the people around us.
Right.
You might carry it and be fine, but you might pass it along to someone who could be immunocompromised who could have. We've got little kids. They can't get vaccinated yet, so I'm concerned about that.
I'm fucking terrified to get my kids vaccinated. I mean, not in general, like at all, but we have real reservations for it, dude. Like I'm vaccinated. I have no problem with it. I got it as soon as I can get it. But when it comes to your fucking kids, dude, it's like, it's weird. Like there's been a few things. It affected my wife's cycle pretty bad. You know what I mean? And my daughter's 13 and there's, you know what I mean? And there's like things that like, you know, it just fucking seems weird. It seems too soon. And it just does not affect children like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand spreading it to someone else, it does. But me and my wife have been struggling with it, and we're by no means anti-vaxxers at all. You know what I mean? But as parents, you start to ask yourself fucking questions that, you know, I'm fine with it fucking me up somehow, if for some reason it does, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you know, these companies don't have long histories of fucking doing much right.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the weird part, you know, is like as a punk, I've not trusted the government or any big pharma my whole life, but now we're supposed to like blindly just like, yep. You know what I mean? So it's like, I struggle with it. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Well, you have to weigh the pros and cons, and everyone makes a decision for themselves. So
yeah.
How do you know whose cons and whose pros to believe? That's the hardest part I have with is if you're looking at it from a certain specific side and you're looking at it from that side, a lot of the information you get comes in a certain way. And if you're looking at it from a different direction, it comes in a certain way. And there's the middle road that's the actual truth, but it's so hard to actually find that truth.
Right.
Finding objective information, it can be difficult, you know, sifting through all the bullshit. I feel like we're lucky we have friends who are in the medical field, doctors, and I rely on them, and I rely on, you know, finding news sources that are middle of the road and objective. And
it's just hard.
Yeah, it is. No, I hear you. But the science that they're using isn't new. It's been tested in different ways for a long time.
The mRNA stuff has been around for a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
they just fine-tuned it for the specific virus.
Yeah, I feel weird about it. You know what I mean? Just with the kids, like I have no problems with it. Like like I said, I don't deny any of the science of it. I fucking think it helps. You know what I mean? But it's just like, God, I have one hang up when it comes to the kids. You know what I mean?
We leapt at the opportunity to get our son Arlo vaccinated. He's getting his second dose tomorrow, actually. No side effects.
Of course.
The few cases where there have been issues, those cons don't outweigh the pros.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know what we're waiting for. You know what I mean? And also, my daughter's old enough to be, you know, I'm like, do you want to get it? She's like, I don't really want to. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, okay, for now, if you decide that you want, because you know they talk about shit at school. They, you know what I mean, all that stuff. It's everywhere. You know, and not that she's like believing anything crazy, but she just doesn't. I don't know. It's like we do the thing we're supposed to do. We're in our circles. We, you know, wear the fucking mask when we have to go out. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, but you know, with the Omicron and probably the Omega variant that'll come out at the end when we all turn into fucking zombies, you know, what I mean? I'll be like, I should have got vaccinated as I'm on like a pile of skulls fighting for my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I don't know. It's swinging a battle axe.
Sure, man. Crossbow, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, hopefully you can design the poster for it. You know what I mean?
I'm having a vision right now. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Are you still? Obviously, you're still doing a lot of graphic art. Is that what your main deal is now? Or
that's my main deal. Yeah. Although it has only recently started picking up again with shows starting and dance touring and etc. So for a long time it was crickets out there. So which worked out with COVID because someone had to be home for online school and managing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you still find absolute joy in doing it? I mean, does it feel like a job at all? Or, I mean, are you having to take shit that you're like, I don't fucking want to do this?
I mean, it's always been a bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Before the pandemic, I was feeling a little burned out. But I took so much time off. I mean, it took a little while to get back into the swing of things. So
how much time did you take off?
I mean, a year and a half.
Oh, really? Okay.
With COVID, I mean, all concerts stopped. Nobody was touring. There was nothing. Yeah, I had a handful of little projects.
Yeah. no bands obviously are making merch and anything like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a record come out in the middle of COVID. It was like,
Oh,
cool, dude. You know,
I know.
like we
See
waited
you
as
later.
long as we could. You know what I mean? We're like, maybe June. You know what I mean? Release it. And it's like, nah, another year, dickhead. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel
You know
I feel
what I mean?
bad for all the bands that had that happen to them. It takes the wind out of your sails, you know.
Yeah, it really does. And you know what though? It was a good for me, you know, it was a good step back. Because after I stopped the Wrath, you know, I took a good long break from playing, a good few years. You know, I was building my career and all that shit, you know, focusing on getting my actual fucking life together. And it made me really realize, like, I was able to really think about why I like playing music and why I even do it. Because it becomes that thing that you just do. You know what I mean? Like, for so long, we just play music, we do it. And then you don't really ask yourself the why very much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be fun first. That's Sandrider's, you know, view on it. If you're not having fun, then you're not doing it right. So
yeah, you're just not doing it right. And for me, it felt like a bit of a job for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, and I was starting to expect shit, like not like rock star shit, but like, you know what I mean? How you just like start to expect things to go a certain way. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And so when I started playing music again, it was all with like gratitude. You know what I mean? Like I really wanted to make sure that, you know, I hit it with like real gratitude and feeling so lucky that we even get to fucking do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because I say it a lot, but how many of us really get to do something we love for a living, you know, or even a portion of that, you know? It's pretty wild, you know?
It is wild. No, we're lucky.
Do you have like do you draw? Are you an actual artist and all that? Do you draw all this stuff?
Actual artist.
I mean, like, do you actually draw and paint and stuff too? Or is it
just
like
faking it?
Not that I'm saying you're not an artist.
It's mostly faking it. No, I do some drawing, but not for the most part. It's mostly collage and digital manipulation and things like that. So
okay.
But that's still, you know, it's still putting that stuff together takes talent.
Well, you have to have a vision.
Yeah.
I in no way am saying you weren't an artist.
Yeah.
I just
wondered. He totally 100% said you're not an artist.
Yeah.
He really, you heard him. We could go back to it. He said, you know, do you actually draw it out like an artist, or, you know, do you just steal other people's shit? Is pretty much what he said.
I mean,
I grew up with the punk rock collage kind of thing, and the aesthetic that speaks to me. So.
Yeah, because I never got to ask you any actual questions about how you made the Rats shit. Because I don't even know if you remember the conversation we had. Like, it was a long time ago, but I literally went like, you're like, what do you want? I was like, evil dragons and shit. And like, and like warriors. Like, I think literally like those are the things that I said to you. And you came back with this. And I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, I never knew if you drew any of it or how, you know what I mean? Like,
that was all collage. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's really, did you know that someone took the cover, and I don't know why this happened, but someone took the cover and it was called Season of Evil.
Yeah.
And they photoshopped an S at the end of the seasons and then like put it out like on all these websites and shit. I was like, what the fuck, man?
That's really bizarre.
It made me question whether I named the album right. You know what I mean? Like, because I kept seeing it
so high.
Yeah. Yeah, but
that's a lot of work. That's weird. Yeah.
It was weird, dude. It was a weird deal, you know? But I have like pictures of it and it says Seasons of Evil. And I'm like, am I an idiot? Like, what the fuck, dude?
It was singular. Yeah.
It was singular. Yeah, totally. Yeah, which is, I mean, anyway, but I was always so stoked on, and even that you did a t-shirt design for us with the site. I don't know if you remember the Cyclops one you did for us.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
But I literally went like, I want a Cyclops riding a motorcycle in a castle on fire. And then you like within days, it's like this image, I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what's in my brain.
Yeah, I used to work from the road with at first it was a clamshell Apple laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be riding, I just used the trackpad and I would ride in a bumpy ass van on tour and like try to design between bumps in the road essentially.
Yeah.
And I was, when I first started, it was dial-up modem to upload art to whoever needed it. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
So the company I had my web service through, would provide phone numbers for each city, and I would go on my tour itinerary and I would look at each city and I'd find out the zip code, the area code, and then I'd look at all those phone numbers and copy and paste them into a file. And that way I could go to someone's house on tour who we were staying with and use their phone line, and it wouldn't be a long distance phone call to upload.
Damn.
3 megs worth of shit. So,
that's what, like late 90s shit? I mean, early 2000s? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
2001, 2002.
That's awesome, man. That's like some, I mean, you know, did you ever tour when the calling cards were around? Like,
oh, yeah.
All that shit?
I mean, in Europe, but not in the US.
Sure. Yeah. But that shit was a different world. You know what I mean? We were talking about it, some younger kids that came in and did the pod a while ago. And I was telling them, like, yeah, dude, you used to have to tour with like no internet at all, like a wing and a prayer. You would just fucking write a letter, you know what I mean? Or maybe you could get an email or hit someone on AIM, you know what I mean? Like maybe, totally. And then just pray to God that when you showed up in the middle of fucking Iowa, that it was there, you know what I mean? And I was telling them about the collect calls, how you would have to call, like if you didn't have any money, right? You'd have to call someone. And in the part where you're supposed to say your name, you're like, hey, this is Craig from the Wrath. We're going to be an hour late. You know, that would be like how, you know,
the system.
Yeah. And they were like, damn, really? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like there was no book your own fucking life. There wasn't a pirate punks fucking, you know what I mean? Circuit. Totally. It was real gnarly shit.
It's pretty wild that we were able to do it without any of the stuff we take for granted now.
Right.
Even, I mean, just like trying to travel with it, all you have is a road atlas, you know? It's like, I have to get to
Thomas guide.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We would print out like MapQuest directions, and we'd make 2 copies. So we'd have like a backup in case something happens terrible.
Totally.
But they weren't accurate. It'd be like, we'd be in New Mexico and be like, in 100 miles, take left on unmarked road. It's like, well, thanks. You know,
thanks, man. Yeah, totally.
I'll keep an eye on it.
And you're like, and then you miss it, and you're 2 hours late to your own fucking show because fucking MapQuest, dude. You know, you had to really want it back then. You know what I mean? And you didn't really know you wanted it that bad until you know what you have now. You know.
And it was fun. We played to nobody, and we played a lot of people, and we meet people like you and ride blocks of ice down hills in the summer.
That's right. Yeah, you guys were reminding me that they used to come stay with us when they'd come through, and we took them to the Visigoth event up at Arroyo Verde that we used to. It's just competitions and all this shit, you know. And then I think you guys were shooting each other with my BB gun right in the backyard and shit.
That was afterwards. Yeah,
that was after.
I think it was 2 different tours.
Probably.
The first one, it was. I don't think we weren't with Torch. Torch is when I shot John with BB gun in your living room.
Right.
But the first time you were like, we're gonna go pick up some blocks of ice, and we were like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. And you came out with these huge fucking blocks, and they're like, 1 by 1 foot blocks, and you drive us to this park and haul it to the top of the hill, sit on it, and you slide down on your ass. Okay.
That's so weird.
There's the rest of the afternoon. So
yeah, totally. Was it during the event where we were doing all the games and shit?
Yeah,
Visigoth dodgeball and kickball and all that shit.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we used to do this thing called Visigoth. It's Brook 86 House does it.
Yeah.
And it's a day of fucking like games. Like you do kickball, dodgeball, tug of war, and then we do this game called Visigoth where you have to stand and slam your hands together, and whoever knocks each other off balance first wins. Which I was the champ many times.
Of course.
You're welcome. Yeah, I would, it's always like when you're on tour, man, it's like, you can do the same shit every day. You know what I mean? So I always want to try to make it at least kind of interesting. You know what I mean? Like
we would like resort to playing Rochambeau. Whoever lost got like a punch in the arm, or you'd lick your finger and go.
Oh yeah.
Huge welts you'd get on your forearm. It was totally. It was stupid, but it was fun,
Yeah, man. You got to do anything you can to pass the time. You guys weren't much of like partiers, right? I mean, I know you guys drank, right? But I mean, you guys weren't smoking weed like we were or nothing, were you?
No, we had a rule of no weed in the car, in the van on tour.
Okay.
Some of us would, indulge from time to time, but it was never really my drug of choice. So
yeah. That was not the Wrath rule. It was all weed all the time. On tour.
We got that vibe.
Yeah, we used to fucking do well. I mean, I'm sure there's no statute of limitations, but we would take pounds with us and we would sell special LPs. You know what I mean? Like, so it'd be like $50 for an LP. You'd get the record, and then you'd get a fucking gram of like killer California shit. It's like we would be selling so many records.
You were better businessmen than we were.
Yeah. But also we were assholes because we were touring with a giant volcano through like, the South. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like we were like, I can't believe we never got busted, but that van reeked of weed,
No,
we got pulled over once and we had like drug dogs coming around and it was scary.
Yeah.
And after that, we were like, the rule is now
nope. Yeah.
the rule.
Yeah, we blew a tire in like, I want to say Georgia. I keep wanting to say Georgia, but and of course, no one in my band apparently knows how to change a fucking tire. So I'm out there, I'm sure they did, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm out there grunting. It's the middle of the summer. I'm fucking working my ass off trying to get this tire. It's a van loaded. You know what I mean? Like it's a nightmare. And I'm fucking sweating and I'm pissed. And I look up and there's this fucking Georgia cop standing like 5 feet behind me. I don't even know where he came from. You know what I mean? Like,
They're
and
quiet.
I'm all, what the fuck? And he's so quiet, dude. He's got a big wad in his fucking lip, and the van just, I don't know how it did not reek of weed at that moment, but it didn't. And so he's like, hey boy, y'all need help, giving me the whole deal. Right. And so now the doors are wide open and it's fucking a mess in there, and we're like, yeah, we're touring van broke down, blah, blah, blah. And he looks in there and then the center console, like, you know what a volcano looked like?
Yeah.
Vaporizers, like filled up a trash bag full of weed. Right. So it's like this silver fucking like pyramid thing in the middle, in the center console. We'd made a spot.
What is that?
Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck's that thing? And I'm like, oh, that's my asthma machine, dude. I fucking got asthma bad. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I gotta fucking, if my asthma gets real bad, I just gotta puff on this thing. It's like vape, menthol shit or whatever. And he's like,
you want to try it?
Yeah. He's like, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. He's like
And
looking at it. He's like touching it. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna go to jail, dude. And he fucking just chucked it off and let us go.
Not smell?
I don't know.
Those volcano bags reek.
I know. I couldn't believe it, dude.
Wow.
But we never had any.
Nothing was in your favor or something.
Yeah, no shit.
If there's a God,
killed his taste buds.
If there was a God, he was smoking weed that day.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's funny.
Have you guys ever got arrested or anything? None of that. No bad luck stuff, huh?
No, we've been lucky. I don't remember getting arrested.
Well, yeah.
No,
I mean, no run-ins, no stolen gear, nothing like that, huh?
Nothing like that. We like build a loft. We'd heard so many stories about people getting ripped off.
Right.
I built a loft in the van where you would have had to bring like a chainsaw to get in. We have one of those circular padlocks.
Oh yeah.
It's an old Ford Econoline.
Yeah.
It's a fucking tank.
Yeah.
We called it. Her name was Crusher.
There you go.
We killed a deer in Texas. And she got named.
Oh, too bad, man. Ours was the Vanimal.
Vanimal's good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. But no, we never got into trouble. Yeah, they were lucky.
That's smart, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's lucky or you're smart or I mean, we never. I don't know how we didn't get in trouble. We were doing some straight illegal shit like all the time. It was so bad, man. Like I can't believe what we got away with on tour. And I mean, here now, like it seems like bands now are getting ripped off more than ever, but maybe we just see it more, dude.
It's sad. No, it's like irreplaceable. It's such a bummer.
Right. When I saw Russian Circles like post that, I was like, oh no, dude. You know, because they got gear, dude.
They do, and they really painstakingly put it all together, and it's not you can't replace it. But it was cool to see the community come together and kind of rally behind him and help him out.
Yeah, they did a GoFundMe, right? And kind of
and just like little guitar shops and bands on the road would along the way would lend them their cabs or their gear, or whatever. So we've been lucky.
Ripped off at?
I don't know. Do you know where they got ripped off at? I don't know where it was.
That was in California, I believe.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah, but it's been happening. It's been happening.
Yeah.
So I've seen like in the last maybe few weeks, 4 or 5 different bands have been posting like they got all their shit stolen. You're like, damn, dude.
I believe we toured with a band called Genghis Tron, and I think they had their trailer stolen, but they ended up, when we were with them, it was afterwards. Maybe they had friends who had their trailer stolen, but they bought their own boot that they would put on the trailer whenever they stopped. So you load in the show, you put the boot on, you go to the house, and you put the boot on.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty clever. When we stayed somewhere gnarly, I'd disconnect the battery terminal, just to be safe in case someone tried to.
Yeah.
I'd want to make it more difficult than they
At least a little harder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we've all found if they want it, they're gonna get it. You know what I mean?
And I was like, if you, yeah, exactly. You bring bolt cutters and a chainsaw, then the
you're
gear
ready.
is yours.
Yeah, you can have it.
Hats off.
Yeah, good on you. You know,
I mean, most of them are kind of too lazy for that, anyways. They're just looking for an easy hit.
yeah.
I mean, there's some of them.
I know some guys know exactly what they're fucking doing,
and
though,
they're gonna follow you. They're like, oh, they played here. Let's look at their setup, and we know they're playing there, and then we'll get them there. But a lot of the times, they're just fucking tweakers that are like, you know,
I mean, if you want
opportunity vultures.
You're gonna steal a trailer, you have to have a truck or a van that can carry it with a hitch. That's the right hitch, and you have to have bolt cutters to cut the chain, and you have to have all the other shit. So it takes a lot of forethought, I think.
Not only that, to wheel that trailer out, you know what I mean? You got to have some shit with it, you know what
they
I mean?
must be like really good at backing up in a trailer.
Yeah. Did you guys have a guy that was the backup guy?
So we never toured with a trailer.
Oh, never. Okay.
Never.
Oh, you just had the thing. That's smart.
The circular lock, and then we could sleep on top. I worked for a band called the Blood Brothers, and they had a trailer. That's the one.
Oh, really? You worked with them? Did you play drums for them?
No. I sold merch, just like I was a roadie essentially.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
They flew off to. That's the band who I drove their gear from Louisville, Kentucky. Back to Seattle. But Adam, their sound guy and manager at the time, he could back up like nobody's business in it with the trailer.
Yeah.
Just like I'm going to get out of the car and let Adam take care of backing.
Yeah. I was the guy that they would wake up at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? And be like, we're stuck. You know what I mean? Like, I remember waking up, we played in Vegas and it was like fucking 2 a.m. or something. You know, we rolled into town and they had somehow tried to parallel park it underneath 2 carports.
Oh my God.
And they fucking woke me up, dude. And I walked out of the truck. I was like, I don't even know how you got in here, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it was inches on each side to even move forwards and backwards. It took me 35 fucking minutes to get. I was like so pissed. I'm like, why would you not like wake my ass up to get in here
first? Do that first.
Yeah. Totally. But yeah, man, it's fucking. Someone to back up a trailer it's a fucking. I remember parallel parking in like the middle of Brooklyn, New York, with a trailer, and everyone's like, slow clap at you. You're like, damn, dude.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, that's my white trash jeans. That's my one real attribute. You know what I mean?
It's an art. I appreciate it.
It is an art. Yeah, it's true. It makes sense now because I run heavy equipment and drive trucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
there you go.
It kind of went, all that rap experience really helped me out in the long run.
Paid off in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, totally. Do you have like a tour that you think really fondly on? Because everything in my shit is like kind of a blur. Like, do you have like some fucking game-changing tours that you think back on every once in a while, or like stuff that you've done, like as far as that goes?
It's a hard question. Not like whole tours, but definitely like sections of them. There was a tour we did in Europe with a band called The Assailant. That was really, really fun and awesome.
Yeah, I remember that band. Yeah.
They were great. And little bits of going down the West Coast with Big Business. That was really fun, and just shows that kind of pop out in your head. John and I from Akimbo, he played bass, he plays guitar now in Sandrider. When telling stories, he and I are good because we bounce things off. We're like, oh no, that was this, or
yeah.
And he has a podcast too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which is a great, dude. That's such a cool idea for that podcast.
Totally.
What's it called? Well, I can't remember now. I'm blanking on it. Of course, I've listened to it a bunch of times.
I'm a bad bandmate. I'll think of it.
We'll die here. Something. Anyway, it's about bands on tour. It's like a whole podcast about bands being on tour. It's fucking pretty. It's awesome.
Dude, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's really.
Is it just a bunch of tour stories and stuff? Okay. Yeah, I want to listen.
Yeah, and different. Sure. I mean, small to medium, and some big musicians too. That's cool perspective on everyone's, because all of our experiences are kind of similar. We all get pulled over and fucked with by the cops. And,
totally. Yeah.
Play to the bar staff, and antics happen. But he interviewed the first tour that he and I did was with a band called Teen Cthulhu. And,
okay. Yeah.
We went down the West Coast and back, and I think I was 19. It was 99 or 2000, and it was cool to see all the perspectives, because we all had different tidbits that we remembered. But there was one day where no one could remember, and I came in and I was like, oh yeah, I saw a brawl on the beach in near LA or wherever. And this guy was screaming, "I'm gonna kill you! I'm a trained killer!" And that was the only thing anyone remembered from that whole day.
Isn't it weird, man? Because so much of we were really high, most 99% of it. So I really like our drummer John is the guy, like he remembers all the shit.
That's
and
cool.
he was really high. I don't know how he remembers it, but I fucking everything is such a blur to me. I remember like cool shows, I kind of same portions, you know, like sections of tours, you know.
We kept tour like diaries and journals and stuff.
Did you really?
It was never like the whole thing, you know, the whole tour, but you would every couple of days you'd be like, okay, here's a synopsis of, you know, the last, you know, 3 days.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I wish I should have done that. You know, got all fucking Henry Rollins, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Get the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, man. So what's going on up in, I mean, obviously I know COVID is a fucking nightmare and no one's been playing shows, but like, are there like killer bands coming out of there right now? I mean, I know there's like the staples, right? And in that whole area, but is there anyone that like, you know, you're like, fuck, dude, these guys are going to be gnarly?
New bands.
Or are you out of the kind of loop a little bit?
I am out of the loop. I'm very much so out of the
parenting
loop.
does that to you, by the way.
It does. I don't feel bad, but I know. So Sandrider is working with a new label called Satanic Royalty.
Okay.
And they had some bands that have been around for a while, like us and Eris, and a few others. And they have some newer bands, and I can't recollect their names. And I've heard little bits of new stuff that's about to come out. And it sounds pretty radical. So,
what's the kind of stuff like? I mean,
like super thrashy, driving 80s kind of metal kind of stuff.
Oh, it's like that, yeah, because there's some bands like that, younger kids, like there's a band called Dead Heat. It's very kind of like 80s, straight 80s metal, like verging on speed metal kind of shit. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like a lot of logos on sweatpants kind of shit.
Sort of, yeah. But they have, there was one band I could have sworn they had like it's almost Danzig-y like vocals over the top of it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to nail down the name and get back to you.
Are you a guy that likes, do you poo-poo the younger generations? Or are you generally
not at all? No, I look forward to some fresh blood.
Fresh blood. Yeah.
Fresh meat, yeah.
I'm always surprised when I meet people that are like, you meet older guys, you know, like guys that have been in the scene. They're like, hey, fucking kids don't get it, you know, and you're like, who are you, man? You know what I mean? Like,
you were once that fucking kid.
I know, right? Yeah. And Ventura has been such a weird community that it is so much all inclusive, like with the nardcore scene and all that stuff. Like, there's never been an intimidation factor from the older generations to the new ones. It's always been pretty like inclusive. So when I remember when I would go into areas, it was like, oh, well, we don't fucking play on that side of town, or like these bands don't play together. You know what I mean? Like you see that weird like competition between not even older or younger, but just, you know, music genres and shit. You know, it's very odd to me.
That's a total bummer. We have joked about like starting fake rivalry with someone where we hate them and, you know, their antics, but it's never gotten past that. So,
well, yeah,
we're too lazy. Yeah,
too lazy.
Everyone would be aware of it being fake, but
yeah. You should just go after Red Fang.
Sure,
they'd be fine with it.
Well, we're kind of small fish compared to Red Fang, but yeah.
Well, I know, but still, that's the best rivalry. Yeah,
it's
like you guys are rivals, and they have no idea. You son of a bitch, dude. I can't believe how fucking, you know, that band in those videos. I mean, it's incredible, dude. I mean, it's incredible what that band's done.
They have a vision. They got the hooks. You know,
they got the hooks, man.
It comes together.
Yeah, it really does, man. It's cool. So I know you said you guys were, I kind of, when we talked previously, you guys are recording or getting ready to record some new stuff. Because it's been a while since you released a record, right?
Yeah, 2018, I think the last one came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my youngest son was born in 2017. I think we recorded like right before he was born.
Yeah.
And so we haven't recorded in a while, correct? And we just did enough for a full length, and then we have a couple extra songs to flow around with. So
fuck yeah, man.
That's cool. No, we're working on vocals and right now, and that's pretty much the end of it. I did all my rototoms and, you know, tambourine work.
Are you still rocking your drumsticks in your back pocket?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You remember?
I remember. I was like, he'd be on the drum, and you always played like kind of 70s ish kits, right? Like big fucking
I like big
boomy
drums, yeah.
drum, big drum. You know, it's very Bonham-ish. But then
Bonham,
he fucking
for
this
sure.
motherfucker was a cool. I mean, I literally watched him. I was like, he lost a stick, and then it was like soof, out of nowhere, and I realized he has him in his back pocket when he's playing. I was like,
It's the way to
"You
go.
son of a bitch, man."
I highly recommend it. For
Yeah,
all the drummers
totally,
out
man.
there. Yeah.
No gloves though. You haven't moved into the gloves yet.
No, I could never do it. I mean, I've seen people do it, and it's definitely they need to because they play more. Like Cody Willis from Big Business was
right.
playing, and he was doing 2 shows a night, and that's a lot, and it will chew your hands up. So
totally,
I listened to you guys all day today at work.
Yeah.
And I listened to you a lot today. And the drumming is really, really impressive, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I on my way here, I tend to go overboard with all my sound systems in my vehicles. And I was in my truck on the way over here, just cranking it, going, holy shit, that drummer's out of bounds, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it was always so fucking awesome to see you guys, every time you came. And I mean, that Torch show in my mind is one of the fucking highlights, even though it was at like this weird place, which that place, that Casa de la Raza is what it was called. I don't know if you remember the place, but that's a legendary place, like in the Nardcore world. Like,
is it gone?
No, it's still there. They don't do shows, but
gotcha.
I mean, fucking in the 80s, every Nardcore band on earth played there. Suicidal, fucking. It's called Casa de la Raza up in Santa Barbara. It was like a community center essentially.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's been like a million variations of things, but it's still called Casa de la Raza,
Yeah.
And that was one of the fucking funnest shows, dude. Like,
I remember going down the street to 540s. I think we all went.
Right. Yeah.
Back there.
But just to watch like you guys, and then I think it was Black Cobra too.
Yeah.
And Torch, right? And it was like, first of all, Black Cobra, huge fan. Fucking Torch, I was a huge fan of Floor, you know what I mean? And then you guys, obviously. And then for us to be able to fucking play with you guys was just like an absolute fucking dream. And then to watch Torch do a fucking whole entire Floor set essentially after their own set, I was like, this is awesome, dude. I mean, it ended up being killer,
And then we all went back to your house and had a grand old time.
Right, that's true. I remember watching God, what was the guitar player for Torch? Juan,
yeah. He was on fire that night.
Yeah, he was hammered. He was like, and he was so weird. He had a video camera with him, and he was sitting on our floor, and he was filming our Playboys. And he was like, "This is for the later," he was so drunk, and it was like, "Dude, you're not like, you don't just watch porn." He's like, "Nah, this is good, dude." And he was filming him flipping through porno mags, so he could see.
I didn't catch that. That's awesome. I like that.
I remember it being like sticking out in my mind is like, we're weird dudes. We do weird shit. You know what I mean? That's an odd move. That's an odd move. Yeah.
I'll have to tell John and guys that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, man.
I must have been in the back or something.
No, I was right in the living room on the floor.
Well, he was that little patio.
That's probably, right.
Yeah.
You go probably back there. But yeah, that was such a highlight fucking night for me. You know what I mean? That and then also playing with Lords. You know what I mean? Doing that shit too.
Did we come through with Lords as well, or
I think so. I think that's the first time I saw you guys.
Awesome.
It was you guys, and that was the spawn. Lords was the spawn of me wanting to start the Wrath, because I was doing my old band Ox versus Thunderbird, who Stan did the artwork for.
Gotcha. No, I've seen the name. That's probably why.
Yeah, and when I watched Lords, I was like, this is next level shit. I want to play fast as fuck. You know what I mean? And
they were all just beasts. They were fucking great.
Yeah, I still talk to Chris.
He's down in LA, right?
Yeah, that guy is killing it. He was on the pod a while ago.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, he's building. You see what he does? Like, he high-end crazy studios. Yeah, it's wild, dude. And to hear his story is so funny. Moving out here on basically like nothing, just deciding to be a fucking carpenter, studio builder. Like, he's such a fucking bad motherfucker, man. I love that guy.
He is. He's who recorded us when I was doing the artwork for you guys in Louisville. He did Jersey Shores and then Navigating, I believe.
Oh, okay.
For Akimbo. We did the two records back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's a fucking talented son of a bitch, that guy.
They all were,
Yeah, it's nuts, man. Too bad. It bums me out that all that went down. You know what I mean? As far as it goes, but it's nice to see when you hear bands break up and they still like each other.
Very true. Very
true. It's a trip, man. Well, yeah, man. Fuck, dude. I don't got many more questions for you, but it was really cool to catch up with you, dude.
Yeah, no, man.
I appreciate you coming on,
My pleasure. Good chat
hopefully I'll get up the coast one time, or if you guys ever decide to come down into the dry heat with no water, come on.
You guys want to come down, you can stop by the garage bar at 1091 Scandy Avenue.
He owns a bar. He's always plugging it, dude.
I'd be more than happy to buy you guys a beer at the garage.
I'll bring the kids on the road trip and we'll.
Man. You got to do a road trip.
We have a space outside for them.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh yeah, a little like playpen for them, and we keep a little dog bowl in it, and it's good to go.
Yeah. Seems humane. All right.
We keep it.
I did a Yellowstone loop not too long ago with the kids, and it was like 2,500 miles, dude, like 9 solid days. And boy, was it a fucking trip. I mean, we had a great time, but that was some fucking driving, dude.
Were you like tenting it, or are you staying in cabins?
No, we stayed in hotels. So we drove my truck. We were going to camp, and we have a trailer, but we just decided it was going to be too much. You know what I mean?
That's a lot.
But staying in Yellowstone was incredible. I mean,
it is.
I'll never go there again, probably, but it was awesome.
We thought about maybe starting with like Glacier and then coming back.
There you go.
Too far, but
because it's not too far from you guys, right?
Just take them up to Squim.
Well, we camp every summer. Arlo was 11 weeks old, and I took him fly fishing.
Awesome.
To me, Port Angeles and going up in the Olympic rainforest, going over to Forks, and it's as beautiful as anything that you're going to see anywhere in the United States. It blows my mind that people just don't understand how amazing that rainforest is.
Well, don't tell too many people about it.
I know.
It's too late, bro. Last time I was up there was way more Teslas than Pintos.
It's hard. You have to like book your campsite 6 months in advance.
It's everywhere though.
It's great that people are enthusiastic about the outdoors, but
COVID really did that shit though, man. It was fucking
totally. No, it's hard to be spontaneous. So
anyway, well, fuck yeah, man. Seriously, thanks so much.
Thank you, man.